Sarah start. Okay. Hey, this is Marcy Hill, and today on What Matters to Miss Marcy, I am talking to Miss Taara King and Charlene Rhinehart, who are pageant contestants that I know personally. And these two young ladies are such an inspiration to me, and I'm sure other young ladies that they encounter. And I wanted to have a conversation with them today about their pageant experiences. So if you ladies can introduce yourselves, starting with Charlene.
Hi, everybody. I'm Charlene Rhinehart. I won the title of Miss Corporate America 2015 in a pageant held in Orlando, Florida. Before competing in that pageant, I did 4 other pageants, lost all of those pageants, but I realized that the Miss Corporate America pageant, it complemented all my skills as a businesswoman in corporate America, and so it was a great way for me to share my gifts and use my talents on that stage.
Okay, Taara.
Hi everyone, my name is Taara King. I am the former Miss Gulf Coast of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. I competed in that pageant in 2012 and also 2013. Went to their international and placed second runner-up. And then following after that, I competed in the Miss Illinois USA 2016 pageant. Although I did not win that pageant, I did receive an honorable mention, which put me in top 20. And while I did not win that pageant, I'm not going to stop pursuing my dreams. I currently live in New York, and I will absolutely pursue Miss New York USA.
Congratulations. I'm excited about you ladies' persistence because, Charlene, you said you lost 4 pageants. Were they all Miss Corporate America?
No, that was my first time competing in the Miss Corporate America. So I started off in the Miss Illinois USA pageant, which is Donald Trump's pageant. It was Donald Trump's pageant. I did that pageant in 2010. My first pageant, I had no pageant experience, nothing when I competed in that pageant. And so the first thing I did was join Toastmasters. I wanted to really understand my public, or how I could convey my message to my audience. So I started off with Toastmasters in order to do that. But Miss Corporate America was my first pageant that I won in 2015.
Congratulations. Okay, and Taara,
yes.
you said you did not win 2 contestants, 2 pageants, but you persisted. What made you go forward?
So I did win the first one. The first one I won on my collegiate level and then also the regional level. But the international level, I placed second runner-up. Sorry for not clarifying that. But then after that, I remember seeing Layla Lopez on the Miss Universe pageant. The way the Miss Universe pageant system works, you first start off on a state level or your country level, which is, as Charlene mentioned earlier, Donald Trump used to own the Miss USA, Miss Universe pageant system. So as soon as I saw Layla Lopez walking the stage as a reigning queen, I was so inspired and I knew I could be that. I saw myself as that. And so I did my research. I saw the first step I needed to take was to become Miss Illinois USA and then compete for Miss USA and then hopefully the Miss Universe pageant. So I went into it optimistic. It was my first pageant ever, like major pageant. I'll say the collegiate level and the fraternity was completely different. In the Miss Illinois pageant system, you're competing against people who are super experienced. I remember that's how I got connected to Charlene. She helped me with my walk and really prepped me to do my very best. And I did a great job, but that was my first time ever. And so I felt like after competing in the pageant, I knew some things I could like work on, and I still feel like I have a shot of becoming Miss USA and hopefully Miss Universe. So that's why I'm not going to stop, because I believe if you can see it for yourself, you should always pursue dreams and never quit.
That's beautiful. And you have a fan over here, so I will be watching your progress, and I'm sure Charlene will too.
Yes. I'll be cheering you on. Thank you. In New York.
Charlene, I'm contacting you when it's time for Miss New York USA. I won't be competing in this upcoming one, but the one after that, I'm going for it. And they extend the age range to 28. Now that Donald Trump.
Wonderful.
Yeah, Donald Trump doesn't own it now, so they're changing it, and I like the changes that's being made. So, Charlene, look out for me. I'm gonna talk to you.
Look out, you got this.
So you have 2 fans right here, and we are looking for you.
Thank you, thank you.
And I'm glad Charlene mentioned Toastmasters because that's actually how I connected with both of you ladies. I visited a club that Charlene was a member. I don't know if you were a member of the club, but you were in attendance that day. I visited, and then Taylor was a member of my club, MJM Speaker Circle. And I know that you guys got good training, or maybe amazing training, as a member of Toastmasters. So how did that help you with your pageant performance, or with your pageant experience?
I definitely would say I give Toastmasters so much credit for the communication and leadership skills I developed, because before going into Toastmasters, I was, 23, new to corporate America, just new to a lot of things in life. And so Toastmasters, it made me get outside of my comfort zone. One, it showed me how to be comfortable being uncomfortable, because I had to speak in front of diverse audiences, audiences who were older than me, younger than me, and I had to also ask for sponsorship. So having those communications in Toastmasters helped me to be comfortable asking people, hey, would you mind sponsoring me for this pageant? You know, communication skills go beyond being on stage. It's all the behind the scenes preparation that goes into connecting with people who can support you on your journey. So Toastmasters played a huge role in that. And I was so lucky to have Toastmasters support me. I remember going to one of the clubs, because if you're a club ambassador, you can go to any of the Toastmasters clubs in the world for free, as long as you're a member of one. So I went to a Toastmasters club. I told them that I was competing for them to be the next Miss Illinois USA. And they were like, oh, well, do you want us to ask you questions during a session? So 30 minutes, all the Toastmasters in the room just had me stand in front, and they asked me various questions, and they gave me feedback afterwards. That was huge, because that's exactly what you'll be doing in a pageant. You'll answer questions extemporaneously. You have no idea what question you'll be asked, but you need to be able to be quick on your feet and be poised in your response. And Toastmasters really helped me to hone those skills, and it also helped me to be a leader, because in Toastmasters you learn leadership skills. And as a pageant contestant, you're not only a speaker, but you're a role model for women all over the world. And so Toastmasters helped me to just understand what it means to be a leader and how to actually do that in order to motivate those around you.
Okay, and Tara, what about how did Toastmasters help you with your pageant experience?
Well, I have to echo everything Charlene just said. I would agree with that 1,000%. So in addition to all the things Charlene said, I'll also say Toastmasters really just taught me the basic principle of discipline. And I remember when I was competing, I was also working on earning my competent communicators certificate, which is a level in Toastmaster. And I always envisioned my life as being a public speaker. And I knew if I wanted to be Miss Illinois USA or Miss USA eventually, I definitely have to have the communication and leadership skills to, to represent the organization. I say discipline was one of the greatest things Toastmaster taught me, because it's not easy working a full-time job and also preparing for a pageant and getting up and then thoughtfully preparing a speech. And so it really just taught me that hard work pays off, and that if I want to become Miss Illinois USA or Miss USA, these are the things I'm going to have to do. So it started instilling the work ethic.
It really does. I haven't done a speech in like 6 months because of that discipline needed to prepare speeches. So Charlene, when you were competing, did you have a full-time job?
Oh yeah, I was working 60 to 70 hours a week. I was working during the financial crisis in financial services. So they were laying off people like crazy. So the people they did employ, they gave them a ton of work during that time. So I was working full-time at JP Morgan. I had just became a certified public accountant. Wow. And I wanted to reward myself. I was like, oh, I passed the CPA. Now I want to do a fun personal development activity, something that's just going to help me connect with people more and just take my skills to the next level. And pageants, I think, are the ultimate personal development activity. If only men could do it, right? I think it would be great. But I think it's just good for people. People just see the beauty aspects of it, but there's just so much behind the scenes that I learned that really helped me in my job. So when I started competing in pageants, I just developed so much confidence in who I was and what I was capable of, that I started getting promotions at work. So I was promoted 2 times within 3 years because of my
congratulations
experience.
That's amazing.
And I'm glad you went into that because I wanted to talk about the pageant experience because as you stated, when people think of pageants, they think of beauty contests because that's what we always see on TV and that's the emphasis that's placed by media. But what were some of your, you mentioned the behind the scenes experiences. Could you guys share some of those experiences, how you developed personally, any relationships built or everything that came with the pageant experience that you didn't have prior to participating in that pageant?
Did you go somewhere?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Pick it out.
It was branding. I had to learn how to brand myself beyond a company, beyond an employer, because when you work for a company, they tell you what to do. They tell you what your roles and responsibilities are. But as when you become your own brand, you have to define who am I? What do I want? And that's one of the most important things I took away from pageants. So I had to create my bio. I had to create a website. My first time having a website, I had to create a blog. And I was so nervous about telling the world my thoughts. I was like, oh my God, I don't want everybody to know that I'm doing a pageant. First of all, I'm an introvert. So how am I going to let people into my life? But a lot of people said, hey, you have to step outside of yourself. This pageant is bigger than you. There's somebody who needs exactly what you have. So in order for you to help those people who need it, you have to put yourself out there. So that was, I think, a big bonus, a branding bonus to doing a pageant. It was really just putting myself out there and letting people know how I can serve them in another way. And that became my platform for future pageants. Every pageant contestant has a platform, something that they believe in. Mm-hmm. And so my platform when I competed in Miss Corporate America was diversity in business, because I wanted to promote inclusiveness. I wanted people to realize that everybody at the table has different gifts that can contribute to the greater good of something.
I never would have taken you as an introvert on any level. Maybe that was the Toastmasters training that brought it out. Toastmasters and pageantry.
Yeah.
Because she's like Miss Personality. Because even when I visited that club, she was probably one of the first people I encountered when I was there, and that made the experience easier. I mean, I was already a Toastmaster, so I felt comfortable in the Toastmaster setting, but then you have the bubbly personality that helped a lot. So, no,
yeah,
I never would have taken you as an
introvert. Definitely.
Okay, Tara, how about you?
I'm going to hit on more about just your internal growth and dealing with self-esteem and confidence, and also knowing that you are in control of your destiny. So hitting on that, you mentioned earlier, a lot of it has to deal with, beauty. And going into it, I knew I didn't look like everybody who I probably compete against. I knew I didn't look like the former Miss Illinois USA. I didn't look like the former Miss USA or anything on that level. So how it helps me, it really just taught me to have self-love and self-confidence, because I'm not going to lie, I went through a lot of different emotions preparing for the pageant, getting on stage one in a bikini. And let me go back, I've never worn a bikini out like in public or anything like that. I was always ashamed of my body. And so competing in the pageant one, it changed my lifestyle, where I started eating healthier. I lost like 20 pounds the healthy way, and really developed an active and more fit lifestyle, because I knew I was going to be on a stage. And so I could say in that area, it just taught me to care about myself a little more. But also going up there and realizing that no matter how slim I am or how large I was, that my body is beautiful the way it is. I'm naturally curvy. And I remember going to one of the sessions, and they talked to some women saying, hey, lose your butt or lose this, because you got to be like this pretty, straight up and down, slim person, and that's not me. And so no matter how much I lost weight, one of the things that I had to learn was I'm beautiful the way I am today. And it's important for me to continue to compete in, because other girls, other brown girls, they need to see is somebody who is shaped like them with their same skin tone, is just as beautiful, is just as accomplished, and most importantly, they're capable and qualified to be the next Miss USA. And so that was something I had to learn along the way, developing that self-confidence and understand that there's always going to be the first Black Miss USA. And who knows, maybe I'll be the first one who has a little bit more extra, still fit and healthy, but realizing that beauty comes in all shapes and sizes. And as long as you're living a healthy lifestyle, that's all that matters.
That's so cool, because you mentioned in one of our meetings that you said you had lost, you said, I stand here before you 20 pounds lighter than before the competition. And I personally didn't pay attention because I just don't pay attention to things.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was very inspirational.
And 3 years later, I'm still 20 pounds lighter.
Congratulations.
I'm working out every single day. That was probably the biggest thing that's changed. Like since the pageant, I really developed a passion for exercising, for being cognizant of what are these ingredients? What am I eating? That's so important. And your life depends on your health to an extent. So it's important to take care of yourself.
Charlene, aren't you a fitness instructor, and that's part of what you do too, or used to?
Yeah. So pageantry helped me to do that. You develop so many skills in pageants. Like you can make so much money, you can profit from pageantry, and that's one of the workshops that I deliver now. But there's so much you can do. Yeah, so I became a fitness instructor because I love to dance, because I had to get into shape for the pageant, just like Tara was saying. So yes, that's one of the things I do now.
Charlene has like at least 10 different titles, and if you didn't know what she did, if you didn't follow Charlene, you wouldn't be confused, because she does have her brand of Charlene, but you'll get lost in everything she does. The CPA, the fitness instructor, the dancer, and the pageant contestant. Well, that's only 4. Oh, and then the career, I forgot the title, but your business.
Career Guidance Academy. But there's not one path for people. People always think, oh, I have to find that one goal, that one thing that I'm going to do for the rest of my life. No, you don't. You have to do what makes you happy in that moment. You have to use the gifts that you have at your disposal, because those gifts can evolve into something greater. And that's what I did at each stage in my journey. I've used the gifts that I had, but God opened another door and showed me something else, and I went in that direction. So that's what happens when you put one foot in front of the other and you take bold steps towards faith.
And that's why I'm so glad you ladies worked with me with this, with my janky technology today.
We love it.
It worked out. But I love interviewing people. And I said, well, I have so many topics, and then I really want to put Black women front and center. Even if I don't, I only have 83 views on my YouTube channel, but 83 people watch that and understand about pageantry and Toastmasters experiences. I've done what I set out to do. But I do pray that 2020 calls me, because I was so fit on that show. Okay.
Put it out there, speaking it into existence.
Okay, and then I wanted to ask you, Charlene, how did you find out about Miss Corporate America?
Yeah, so I was reading a DePaul newsletter. So I graduated from DePaul, and they always talk about the accomplishments of some of their alum. And I read about Nancy Wynn. Nancy, she received her MBA. She's an entrepreneur. She started her own beauty business. And then she won the Miss Corporate America pageant and started traveling around the world, inspiring other entrepreneurs. I was like, what? That's exactly what I want to do. I want to be a speaker and entrepreneur and use my skills to do that. And so I was just so fascinated by her journey that I followed her. You know how we are as girls. We see she's doing amazing things, and we want to see, okay, what's the secret sauce? What helped them to get there? And that's what I did. I built a relationship with her and other people who were in pageants, and that's how I got started with the Miss Corporate America pageant. But it was her putting herself out there, her sharing her accomplishments, which allowed me to see what was possible if I competed in the Miss Corporate America pageant.
And since you opened the conversation about relationships, okay, you said you reached out to her, and being an introvert, what was your confidence level like when you reached out to her?
Hey, if you want something, you go for it. Introvert, extrovert, it doesn't matter. and one misconception that I think people think that all introverts are shy. No.
That's a misconception.
Yes, it is. You don't have to be shy to be an introvert. Introversion is just how you respond to energy and information around you. So I like to internalize my thoughts before I give them out to the world. that's just how I get my energy. I probably think about stuff in my head first before it gets out there publicly. Okay. But I definitely believe in building relationships. That's so important. And I feel that if you want to go anywhere in pageants in your career, what you want to do is form those relationships, because no amount of talent or smarts will get you there if you don't have the people who are going to get you to the next level.
Okay. Next question. Which doors of opportunities open for you ladies after these pageants? Taylor, you've been really quiet.
I gotta think about this. I can't necessarily say a certain door, like a career opportunity or something like that has happened, but I can say after I competed in the pageant, I was able to form a really great relationship, and I consider her a sister to this day with at least one of the other contestants. So, and I think what has formed for me after is just my dreams. They're bigger. You know, I was able to accomplish things that I never thought I would accomplish. I didn't think I would go that far in the pageant. And so I'll say after the pageant, it just allowed me to pursue my dreams recklessly, and to not stop and to never give up. And most importantly, live with the mantra that you are in control of your destiny. People think it's all these external factors that affect you. No, it's how you respond to those things. And you can overcome any challenge. You can do whatever you want as long as you're consistent, you work hard, you have the right attitude. And so I'll just say competing in the pageant has just reinforced a lot of my beliefs.
Wonderful. How about you, Charlene?
I would have to say my entire life changed when I won Miss Corporate America. So before Miss Corporate America, I was working in corporate America at a financial services company, but within 4 weeks of winning the pageant, I quit my job. What? And everybody was like, what? How does that happen? I left my job, I started a business, and then I went on a world tour, traveled around the world for 6 months, went to Sweden, Belgium, Denmark, Bermuda, Mexico. And I never thought I would do anything like that. That was a huge leap, but the pageant experience gave me the confidence to realize, okay, you just lost 4 pageants. You never placed in any pageants, but you kept going. After 5 years, you finally won a pageant. What would happen if you went for your dreams at this moment? So I pushed all the self-limiting beliefs behind and just created an entirely new career path. And so now I'm living the life that I've always wanted. I'm a speaker, entrepreneur, and I'm a travel writer for different publications on the web. But you just have to realize that what you're going through right now is preparing you for something greater later. You have to keep going no matter what. And so just realizing all the nights that I may have cried because I didn't win, it was preparing me for the greatness that was ahead when I would win something greater than I expected.
And I want to add, it's also prepare. It's also God also used you to be a vessel to other people. So when I hear your story and I hear you had to go through the four times of not winning and also even not placing, but that 5th time something crazy happened, because you usually hear the stories and it's just like, all right, the top 5, whatever, that one of them was going to be the next one, you know. And it's just so inspiring to hear that, because I think people, they just give up. And right when you give up, you're right on the peak of everything just turning around. So, I mean, I'm just so proud of you, and you're an inspiration to me. And I know who's ever watching this, they're probably inspired by you as well. Just, you can never stop or quit on your dreams. If it keeps you up at night, do it. If you could see yourself with that crown and that sash, it's not by accident. You have to pursue it, and you can do it. And I'm seeing you, and you're just inspiring me, like, maybe I should compete for Miss New York upcoming, like right now. Like, you're just like inspiring me. But you know, I got to keep my priorities together and do one thing at a time. But I'm not going to stop. Just seeing and hearing you, I'm definitely not going to stop.
You got this. Like, I'm so serious. When you said you competed in your first pageant, I could not believe it, because you were so polished. A lot of women fail in the interview section, but you nailed it. You nailed interviews. And that's what distinguishes a winner from somebody who's first runner-up. So you got this. So I'm sure New York is going to be waiting for you.
She's going to set New York on fire.
Yes.
Okay. And I think I'll probably have a couple more questions and we'll wrap up. One thing about pageants is people think they're about beauty. And I forgot where I was going with this question. No, not beauty. The pettiness that comes along with pageantry. Did you guys experience any of those things? Are they true? Can you guys give us a insight into that? Because that, you know, we see it on TV, but sometimes TV is exaggerated. You know, things are exaggerated, but then sometimes not, because it stems from a semblance of truth. So could you guys let us know about the pettiness the alleged pettiness that comes with pageantry?
Well, I haven't experienced like any horror moments where somebody may have like taken my hairspray and like changed it with alcohol or something like that. I'm sure that may have occurred, but the only thing I could say is probably petty. Some girls, if they see you as competition or a threat, they'll talk to those they do not find as like a threat. But with you, they won't talk to you, or they may go the other way. And I've experienced that in both of the times I've competed. Where just some girls, they may not want to talk to me, which is fine because I'm there to work on myself and to win. So if you don't want to talk to me, that's fine. But for the most part, I had a pretty positive experience.
Okay.
Definitely.
How about you, Char?
I would say the same thing. What's so surprising about this is that you're around like-minded women. You're around people who are ambitious, go-getters. They're beautiful. They have a vision. That is awesome. Like, you want to be around these people because you might not see a lot of these people in the real world. People don't talk about these people in the real world. So for me, it was one of my first, I would say, exposure to a large group of women who were just positive and who wanted a platform so that they could share their gifts with others. You don't see that when you go to work. People are just focused on their work. They're not thinking about, oh, how can I make the world a better place?
Right.
You don't hear it often on TV. But everybody was just on that same page. And so I connected with the most remarkable women that I've ever been around. And just being in this pageant circle, it's made me a happier person. It's made me a better person. Like, being around like-minded people, you have no choice but to grow from being around these type of people. So I'm better because of the women that I've met in pageants.
Do you still keep in touch with anyone? Because Taylor says she kept in touch with one person. Well, she's close with one person from her experience. Do you still keep in touch with anyone?
Oh yeah, I've received a lot of opportunities through my friends who were in pageants. So a lot of the things I do today is because of recommendations I received from women who I met within the pageant system.
Okay, 2 more questions, ladies. What advice would you give to other ladies of all ages who are considering entering pageants?
Okay. I will first tell them that be confident within yourself. And I will remind them that as long as they work hard, they're consistent in working hard, and they never give up, that anything is possible. But I really emphasize, like, during the process, don't compare yourself to anybody. Don't look at person A, former winner, and say, oh gosh, she's like this and I'm like that. I would really teach them and emphasize self-love, because it's so easy to get caught up, you know, in not wanting to eat, or, you know, not picking your face apart. Oh, this is too big. This is, you know, or my hair is not good enough, or just all types of things. So I would really just emphasize self-love, because I believe when you have that within yourself, everything else is going to manifest and radiate. And then emphasizing the hard work. Beauty is great and everything. However, you have to work hard. When you're competing in a pageant, you're competing against some pretty grade A women. They're grade A, they're smart, they're beautiful, ambitious, and they have a killer work ethic. Miss USA is not lollygagging around. She's probably beginning her day at 5 or 6 o'clock a.m. and she's working hard throughout the day, interviews, you know, being prepared to go to a charity event, speaking to different people. So I will also tell them that if you want to win that title, start mimicking your life as if you already have the title. Because if you're not doing that now, when you get the title, you're not going to know what to do with it. So you have to have the hard work ethic. You have to have the discipline, you know, and you have to just, you know, work hard at everything and really start to mimic that life, because it's just not going to happen overnight.
Tara, you took the words right out of my mouth. But I would definitely say every time I tell a woman, like, you would be great for a pageant, they always go back to this beauty thing. They always say, oh, I don't think I'm beautiful enough, or I'm not skinny enough, or just some image that they've been given by society. Scratch that. Forget that image. Stop focusing on everything that you're not and start focusing on everything that you are. I think even beyond pageants, people just dwell so much on the negative and what they don't have, but God has given you so much more. And so once you pay attention to that and be grateful for everything he's given you, he'll give you so much more on your path. He has already given you everything you need to succeed on your journey. So change your mindset, shift your mindset. Like Tara said, act as if you are. That's what I had to do in order to win the pageant. The 4 times that I didn't win the pageant, I was looking at everybody else wondering, how could I be more like them? But when I decided, oh, let me see what I have to offer, let me dig deep within me, everything in my life changed, and I finally won a pageant because I was able to capitalize on what God gave me. So use what God gave you. He gave it to you for a reason. Don't stop your blessings. Don't delay your blessings because of the doubts in your head.
That's a word. That is a word.
So in essence, get out of your own way and kick butt. And kick butt in life and the things that you guys are doing. Okay, ladies, that's all I have for our conversation today. I want to thank you guys for sharing your time and working with me, and for sharing your pageant experiences, as well as how Toastmasters contributed to your success in pageantry. And do you guys have anything else you'd like to contribute?
No, I don't have anything else. Just whoever's watching this, if you, whether you want to compete in a pageant or you don't, I'm sure you have some goal or dream in your mind. Don't stop. Don't quit. Keep going. And tune out the naysayers.
Definitely. Just want to say thank you to Marcy. I think it's remarkable that you're uplifting other women. Whatever you're doing, wherever you are in life, make sure you're uplifting others, because when you're pulling somebody up, you have the potential to go higher because you're helping others along the way. So keep doing that. That's how you grow and expand your platform, by continuously giving back.
Well, thank you so much. And it was great speaking to you ladies, and you guys have a wonderful day.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Marcy.